President Biden is on his way tonight to Israel to meet with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu amidst the Israel-Hamas war. But as ABC's Melissa Adan reports, the president's meetings with Arab leaders have now been canceled following a deadly explosion at a Gaza hospital.
Tension skyrocketing in the Middle East after an explosion at a hospital in Gaza killed hundreds of Palestinian civilians. Video circulating online shows the horror, the hospital packed with wounded patients and Palestinian families seeking shelter from the fighting. Israel's military is adamant they are not at fault, claiming to have evidence pointing to the Palestinian militant group Islamic Jihad.
Intelligence from few sources that we have in our hands indicates that the Islamic Jihad is responsible for the failed rocket launch which hit the hospital in Gaza.
A U.S. official telling ABC it is uncertain who launched the strike and it will take a while to determine. In a written statement, President Biden says he is outraged and deeply saddened by the explosion at the Gaza hospital and the terrible loss of life that resulted. The crisis erupting just as the president begins a high-stakes trip to Israel as a show of solidarity after Hamas massacred more than 1,400 people in Israel, the worst terror attack in the country's history. But the president's summit with Arab leaders now called off. White House officials calling it a mutual decision to cancel the meeting with the leaders of Jordan and Egypt and the president of the Palestinian Authority, Mahmoud Abbas. Abbas blaming Israel for the hospital attack. This, as Secret Service calls it, an immensely intricate security plan to protect the president in an active war zone. As airstrikes continue throughout the Gaza Strip, residents say they have no safe place to go.
We went to schools, they bombed schools. We went to the south, they bombed the south.
Israeli troops preparing for a possible ground invasion against Hamas, with tanks and troops gathering along the border with Gaza. Israel says there are still 300 unaccounted for and 199 hostages whose families hope to be released or rescued.
This is the worst nightmare every mother can have.
Biden said to urge Prime Minister Netanyahu to consider the consequences of a massive assault and the resulting humanitarian crisis. Melissa Adan, ABC News, Los Angeles.